Might be able to get through this tonight. Okay. Oh. Alright, here we are. What's up there?
Oh, Jesus, guy. Oh, good, we're done with him. This guy creeps me out.
Crap, I can't remember what we did last time.
We just finished talking to Edgeworth. He was gonna go put a thing in.
But did we see... Did we take over... What's her name? Maya?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how far we got with that, but yeah.
Sorry, but visiting hours are over for today. I have too many questions I need to ask. Sorry, but I'm Phoenix Wright, a lawyer for one of the... You're Mr. Wright, you say? Oh, yeah, there's a message here for you. Message? From Matt on guard. Ah, here you are. What did he write? It's something really important. I don't know. Well, let's see what it has to say. Gee, Mr. Lawyer Dude, I've got something really important to tell you. Why do I feel uneasy all of a sudden? Oh, Mr. Wright. So actually, I have a favor to ask of you. I have this cat named Shu. I didn't put out a lot of food when I left the house, so he's probably pretty hungry. You think you could drop by my house and feed Shu for me, dude? My house is just a little ways down from the hotel, alright? This is terrible. Let's hurry, we have to feed his cat.
Oh,
Sure, poor
Pearl.
Shu's stomach is growling by now. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, Pearl.
Client's request is a request. Guess I should go check up on his cat. Alright now, Mr. Nick. Let's go look for clues. We have to for Mystic Maya's sake. You shall not pass!
Oh, God.
This old bag. Don't devalue my name and turn it into a gas, you spiky-headed pettifogger.
Jesus.
Because of you, I've been made to look like the bad guy again. Although I did get a piece of gum from Edgy Boy, just as he promised. But what I really wanted was something much more valuable. I wanted Edgy Poo's heart. I want it all for me. It's all your fault. You've awakened the wild beast inside this old bag. Arrgh! Ah, Miss Old Bag. Keep your hands off me. This helmet is airtight. No air gets in and no air gets out. Then why do you keep putting it on? Don't think you can get me to move with silly questions. You're going to have to defeat me if you want to get by. Not hearing this. On guard mansion. Lovely. Sure is dark. I'll go turn on the light. Wow. So this is what a star's house looks like. Must be nice to be rich. Come on, Mr. Nick, let's find Shu the kitty cat. Shu! Yeah. I guess this is Shu. Oh, what a lovely cat. Hello, Shu. Meow. Gee! Cat seems like pearls. Pardon me. Oh, we know where Maya is now. May I help you with something, Mr... Oh, we're lawyers, actually. Actually, I'm Mr. On Guard's lawyer. The Master's... Then you must be Mr. Wright. Yes. Ah, it's a pleasure to meet your wonderful self. I'm the family butler, John Doe. Nice to meet you. Meow.
Oh, good boy. It's alright, buddy. You're okay. It's okay.
Must know all sorts of things about Mr. On Guard, right? Honestly, sir, I don't believe my master is capable of such a foul deed as murder.
Okay.
And, anything else? Nope, not especially. It's not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the master or his affairs. Not typically butler-like, as it were. Mr. Doe, how long have you served at this residence? Well, sir, I would have to say maybe about 1 year. And, anything else? No, not especially. It's not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of himself and his affairs. No, I would have thought Mr. On Guard the kind to have a maid over a butler. Very cute cat you got there. It's my duty to take care of him. The master rather fancies Shoe.
He looks like he's shaking.
Jake?
Yeah, like
He's fine. You alright? Oh no, he is scared. Put a blanket over him or something?
Well, I mean...
Jake, if you want to go upstairs, you can.
It's alright, buddy. Come here.
No, actually, I wouldn't do that. Here. Here. Jake, you want to go upstairs? Come here. Come on. Hey.
It's thundering and he don't like thunder. He's scared of the thunder. Bye. Did he go? Never seen him act like that.
Well, he wanted to stay down here. That's the thing. And here he comes.
We might want to let him under there. Or under there.
You want to come over here?
Lay down.
You're okay, buddy.
Lay down, Jake.
Lay down.
Down.
Good boy.
There you go. Good boy.
And anything else? No, not especially. It's not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the family cat. Well, then I guess I don't need this scrap of paper anymore. Matt's note crumpled into a ball and thrown away. Well, I'm afraid I must take my leave of you now. Oh, we should probably get going ourselves. So young and yet already so accomplished, a master of law. There's also a lot to be proud of in being a butler in charge of the house and all. Thank you for the compliment, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Yep.
I think we should just leave her in there.
Ice room.
Yes, it is the Shelley to Killer case. Surprise.
Hi, Wendy. Bye, Wendy.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe if I show her this letter I got from Edgeworth. Miss Oldbag, if you look at... What? You want me to look at this worthless piece of... It's interesting.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Edgy poo. Is that her perfume? Pheromone de Amour I smell? Ugh. Let's see here. Would you please allow this unsophisticated young person to conduct his investigation? Yours truly, Miles Edgeworth. Yours truly? That man's good at flattery. Fine, but only because Ejipu said so, you understand? I just thought of something I have to do. Remember, no messing around. You do anything bad and I won't let you off the hook. Looks like she has strong feelings for Mr. Edgeworth. That may be, but you know nothing's gonna come of it. That's so mean, Mr. Nick. Feelings are meant to be told and shared. Ow.
Oh, Pearl.
Every time we talk about love, I always end up with a handprint on my face somehow. So anyway, let's continue our investigation. Okay. Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat. Ack! What? What now? One little thing before I forget. You can't go in the on-guard's room today. Why? Police main's investigation team is going to be in there all day, you hear? Oh no.
Nope,
Wonder if they're the team in charge of investigating the killer. So don't go in there. Set one foot in there and you'll face the wrath of Wendy Oldbag. Feel the hall. That's it. It's like we're the only ones here. And yet the hotel seems so busy somehow. Probably because the police team is scouring for clues about the killer. Hallway. Hey, city boy! Lada, you're still here. Wrecking course? An investigative photographer eats or starves on her ability to snap up the scoop, yeah? This hotel just has that aura of mystery. You know, like something's about to happen. Do you have a camera? Wreck given. A photographer's gotta have cameras out the ear like corn to be a real pro, you know? So I'm hanging around here. Speaking of cameras and feeding the mouth, do you have mine, you bread thief? Why can't you drop that thief thing already? Nice, but I can just talk to her. Want to ask you about the night of the murder. What? You really gonna shell out the bucks for the info I got? Lada, you were loitering in this hallway that night of the murder, were you not? Well, kinda, but brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I didn't exactly hang around here the entire time, you know. Followed a few stars around. Got a few autographs, shook a few hands, had a soda pop with a few of them, too. Looks like she wasn't here the entire time that night. The security lady also wasn't in this hallway the whole time, either. Guess this means there's no one who can tell us who came and went that night. So, about the note that was inside your camera case. Oh, that ditty I wrote? Yeah, can I believe what you've written? You mean the stuff about On Guard shoving his manager lady on a Karita? Yeah. Well, I reckon you best not be believing that. What? Look, I sort of wrote that on a whim, you know? Writing whatever came to mind. Whatever came to mind? Yeah, when you get down to it, it's just a lot of random bull dooders. Hey, what's with you? Why are you staring at me like my grandpa used to? Hey, and why do you look like you suddenly got older too? Or am I just shrinking here? My baby. My $1,600 baby. What's with that red-coated prosecutor anyhow? The guy told me it was evidence and refused to give it back to me. Well, that's kind of how it is. Hey, you're that redcoat's friend, aren't you? Well, put in a few good words for me and get me back my camera. You want me to do what? Listen, nag the guy real good for about 5 hours and I guarantee he'll give it back. Why don't you do your own dirty work? Well, I reckon it's time for me to get going. Tabloid photographer without a camera is just a tabloid, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Keep yourself together out there, you hear? Coming to see you in court tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you then. And you too there, little one. Keep up the good work, okay? Okay, don't be piggy about your food now. Okay, make sure you do all your homework, you hear? Okay. If you happen to find yourself a camera, make sure you bring it right to me. Would you please just leave already? Okay. Mr. Nick. What is that otherworldly, ghastly moaning? I hate evil ghosts. Wah! I don't think it's a ghost. Maybe it's a demon? Excuse me, watch who you're calling a demon, brat. Ah! Zoinks! It's the alien. Who are you calling an alien? Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a. That's just you, Miss Oldbag. What are you doing here? What's wrong with youngins today? Came down here to pay my respects for my poor Juan, and you're disturbing me. Please talk to me about the night of the murder just one more time. Talked about it plenty at the trial. I was fooled, tricked, deceived by that fraud of a photographer in her note. She was loitering around here with that imbecilic look on her face. That imbecilic look on her face. Okay, got it. Now, hold on there, you little pipsqueak. Hold on a second there, you pipsqueak. If you're gonna take notes, at least make me sound better than that. Oh, alright. Now I've seen everything. But you know, I was working that night too, doing my job, minding my own business. So it's not like I had time to waste standing around here the whole night.
Still don't get all the bears.
I don't get all the bears either. Not at all.
Quite understand all the bears.
Wondering if you could tell me a bit more about Mr. Kurita. He's the most popular star, you know, especially where it counts, in my book. But I heard that he was lagging behind in the polls against Mr. On Guard. Well, that's just a recent thing. Bad luck and all that, you know. But he was going to become an even bigger star than he used to be. Look, just look at this mountain of presents. It's a show of the mountain of feelings all his fans had for him. Yeah, the mountain is pretty big and certainly nothing to shake a stick at. Mr. Nick? What is it, Pearls? The presents. They're all bears, right? She's got a point. There isn't a single thing here that isn't a bear. I want to make sure of something real quick. Yeah, we're good. Cool. All Mr. Kurita's presents from his fans seem to be bears. Well, that's just because you can't think of Juan without thinking about bears.
What?
Bears? Why bears? You don't know? When my dear Juan was training, he fought barehanded with a bear. He refused to give in and let the bear win, but after the fight they became friends.
Well, this explains the bear.
Wow, what a heartwarming story. Look, it's just like in those young people's dramas. I can see those two tuckered out. Down by a river going, heh, you sure can fight. You too, bub, you too. Did all that really happen? It's in his biography, bub. What a load of crock. So ever since then, fans have been giving him bears as presents. Yeah, nice. Bears. Bro. I'm Uncle Bear, and I say it's barely 8 o'clock. What is that infernal racket? One of the presents going off. Sounds like it's already 8 p.m. Way past your bedtime. That startled me. I thought I was going to die for a second. 8 p.m. That's the time when the award ceremony ended that night, remember? Time sure flies. It's hard to believe it's been 2 days since the ceremony. Uh-oh. Transceiver. Hello? Hello? This is not a phone. Maya, how's Maya? You haven't heard her, have you? Seems you were not able to fulfill your end of the bargain, Mr. Attorney. I have heard the news. So it would seem my present did you no good. No! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! One more day, please. All I ask is for one more day. I'll get a not guilty verdict for this time. For sure this time, please. I suppose if I must. I need that acquittal more than anything else, after all. Please let Maya say something. I want to hear she's alright. Alright. Then... a little... What's with this static all of a sudden? Oh, hello? It seems bad. Connect. Damn it. Did the transceiver just suddenly break? Excuse me. What happened? I don't know. All of a sudden it became nothing but static. Ah, Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Did the transceiver suddenly break like that? Could probably have an electronics expert look at it. The sooner the better.
think we're past thunder, it looks like.
That sounds like it. Hey, welcome back, pal. I thought I'd make you a little something for dinner. Oh, I forgot he's working for us now.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice, thanks. Rich man's luxurious full-course meal. Out of a can, that is. I'm sorry you went through all the trouble to cook, but I don't have the time to eat. Oops. Looks like you don't have a can opener, pal. You gotta be kidding. And here I thought he had already whipped something up. Oh, I know. There's one way I know how to be helpful. Ask me about anything you want, pal. Go ahead. Well, since he's here and offering, wonder what I should try asking him about. Transceiver? Oh, Mr. Nick. You should ask Mr. Scruffy Detective about that thing. What thing? Oh yeah, this thing just up and broke all of a sudden. It broke, pal? When I was talking to the kidnapper, it just suddenly broke into static. Look, it sounded like this. I don't hear any static, pal. Huh? Maybe it fixed itself? Pearl's been hanging out with Francisca. Yeah. That's strange. I'm sure it was making a loud static noise. Maybe what? Maybe it was electromagnetic interference, pal. Electromagnetic interference? So what is electromagnetic interference? Something that happens when a radio wave gets mixed up with another signal, pal. Oh, when you put it that way. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, for example, when a cell phone goes off next to a computer screen. The stuff on the screen gets kind of fuzzy and starts acting funny, right? Huh? Computer? It's like when you use the dryer next to the TV and the screen starts looking weird. Oh, yes, the TV does do that. So that's what you're talking about. She seemed amazingly happy at being able to understand this. So the room you were in when that interference of the transceiver happened, there's gotta be something that's sending out very strong radio waves, pal. Something like, a listening device or something. Probably a spy camera. Ah! Hey, speaking of that, where were you when it happened? We were in Mr. Carita's room, the scene of the murder. What? That's it. I'm going to sneak into the precinct and get a bug sweeper. I'll meet you at the crime scene later, alright, pal? Wait, Gumshoe. Oh yeah, baby, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah! Sorry. Yeah! We should be going too, Mr. Nick. Alright, let's go.
Oh, man.
All away. Gumshoe has life goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah! Hey! You're finally here, pal. Sorry to keep you waiting. Do you have the, bug sweeper? Well, you see, I got busted trying to sneak in, pal. Then suddenly I'm staring at the precinct doors. From the outside, I mean. So yeah, I couldn't get one of the police bug sweepers. What do you mean you couldn't get one? We need that item. Hey, calm down, pal. I didn't say I didn't get one, just not the police's. Wow, so this is a bug sweeper. Looks a little broken. Hey, this was made when I was in elementary school, pal. Oh? By who? Me, of course. Ah, seeing this sure brings back memories.
Oh my God.
Hey, don't look down on it, pal. Sure, it looks a little beat up, but I put my heart and soul into building this puppy here. Your heart and soul? It'll work, trust me, pal. It'll do the job, but you can't set the sensitivity. So it's going to beep at anything that gives off electromagnetic waves. Isn't it better that way? Oh, well, anyway, since I brought it all this way, might as well give it a whirl, right, pal? Getting that sinking feeling again. Okay, now I'll tell you how to use this baby. There's a listening device or some other sort of bug hidden in this room, pal. So we're gonna find it, right? Right. Now first, let's turn the sweeper on. Next, move the sweeper around to give the room a real thorough look-see, pal. The sweeper will let you know how strong of a signal it's picking up, so keep an eye on it. Okay? Once you find something that's giving off a lot of radio waves, press enter to lock onto it. There's a lot of things here that's going to give off radio waves, so let's take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal? Alright, I'm gonna go stand outside and keep an eye out. Give me a yell if you find a bug. Find the bug. Got it, pal? Doesn't seem to be anything giving off radio waves there, Nick. Oh, probably not strong enough. TV. The light.
The light give off those radio?
Yeah, lights give off radio waves. That's electronic. See, each of them give off anything electronic, technically. Electronic, electronic. That's electronic. Well, it certainly looks like an alarm clock. What's wrong? Why do you look troubled? I just can't imagine the listening device being inside this alarm clock. It just sort of reminded me of something that happened a long time ago. Oh, well anyway, it looks like the listening device isn't in here. Calculator, I think. It's 2 alarm clocks? Oh! This is just a giant stuffed teddy bear, right? It's the biggest one I have ever seen. Hey, so did you guys find it yet? The listening device, I mean. No, not yet. But this bear's eye is... Let's see. Perfectly normal stuffed bear with some really strong radio waves. Sounds like you found the device to me, pal. Let's dig this big fella's eye out and see what we got. No, you can't! Such a violent act! Oof, rip. No! It's a miniature camera. It looks like there's more. There's a transmitter and a timer. A what emitter? A transmitter, pal. Oh, is this more of that high-tech stuff? This tiny little thing is a camera? Yep, it's a pinhole CCD camera. Pal. It's a small, high-grade video camera mostly used in security systems. So it's a video camera. Runs on a battery which comes with it in a set. But there's no videotape in this camera. It's only the camera part here, pal. Tape recorder with the tape inside is somewhere else. Somewhere else? Footage is changed into radio waves and then it's sent to that recorder. So it's sort of like a TV broadcast, isn't it? Hey, you know, you're right. Set to record the victim's room from 8 p.m. for 1 hour. It was running at time of murder. Ooh. So what is a transmitter? It's a device that sends the footage the camera took to a specific destination. It's like a video version of a listening device, pal. Looks like it's attached to a small clock-like thing. Oh, that's a timer, pal. You can set it to turn the camera on and record it at a certain time with it. You can set it for a certain time? Yep, let's see. This looks like it was set to start at 8 p.m. and go for 1 hour. 8 p.m.? That was the time the award ceremonies ended. There's no date set, so it's been recording every night, I guess. Mr. Detective, how long has this bear been here? I'm pretty sure it's been here since the night of the murder. Then maybe this camera caught the murder on tape. What? If you think about the angle the bear is at, it's bound to have had a clear shot of the whole crime, pal. Transmitter added to the court record. There was a camera in this bear's eye. It was disguised as a present. And I'm sure it was here on the night of the murder, pal. It's pretty big, so it stands out pretty well in my mind. But who gave Mr. Carita this present? I don't know, pal. But this means that someone out there has got a video of what happened here that night. Isn't there any way we can find out who that person is? Impossible, pal. Radio waves can be sent almost anywhere, so there's no real way to find out. Oh. Really no way to find out? I got it. What? Hey, pal, let me borrow this mini camera for a bit. What are you gonna do? I'm going to go around the electronics shops and see if I can find out who bought this. But that's impossible. I mean, it's already 9 p.m. Leave it to me. Even if I have to search all night, I'll find your man, pal. Oh yeah, baby, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah! He's gone.
Oh, gumshoe.
But Mr. Scruffy Detective sure is a nice man. He's pushing himself so hard, all for Mystic Maya's sake. It's a mystery how you always manage to do things in the most inefficient ways, right? Ack. You'll have to excuse me, I heard your conversation just now. Edgeworth, what are you doing here? Rescue team has been created and deployed. Can't say I'm optimistic, but we have to move forward one step at a time. I see, thanks. Don't thank me yet, we still have to find her. So there was a spy camera hidden inside this stuffed animal, huh? Or one lucky man, right? Do you know this stuff? Do you know this stuffed bear, little girl? I have no idea. Of course not. Maker of this bear is a very expensive luxury brand from overseas. It's completely handmade, and only a small number of these are exported here. What? Camera and transmitter that Scatterbrain Detective took with him are dead ends. Things like those can be bought anywhere. However, this bear is different. By tracking how it got into this country, this bear can tell us who the buyer is. Can you really do that? Mr. Nick, can you really? Well, I guess so. It's 9 p.m. I think I can still make it in time. I'll be taking this for now. I'm sure you have other things to do. He snatched it up. See you soon, right? Wait! What? Why are you doing this? I have no interest in explaining myself to someone who cannot comprehend. But besides that, right? Till court reconvenes tomorrow, you should concern yourself with this question. Who was the person that murdered Juan Carita? The real killer. You really still think it was Adrian Andrews? To be honest, I don't know anymore. Still have a little time left. Find the truth, right? Everything begins with the truth. Juan Carita's real killer, Miss Andrews passed. Kidnapper whose sole condition is an acquittal for Mr. On Guard. And this card, Shelley the Killer. Maya, the only way I can save you now is to find all the answers to this case tonight. I don't understand what your real intentions are, Edgeworth, but as you said, all I can do for now is find the truth. Poor bear, come, Daniel!
Oh boy.
More investigating.
More investigating?
More investigating.
Investigating.
It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Miss Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. Police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. The real person who killed Mr. Carita was that assassin, Mr. Shelley the Killer, right? The card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one who hired the killer to begin with? Who was his client? I mean, who asked for the murder? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, they're still a killer. Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews? Wonder. If she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? If Miss Andrews wasn't the client, no, it can't be. Matt On Guard himself? Mr. On Guard really did hire the assassin, then he is not innocent at all. Far from it. He would be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. On Guard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him. Mr. Ungard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Carita? Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Carita, okay? Didn't see any Cyclops at that time. Actually, that reminds me. Do you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So what's this interesting thing? That's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Mr. Ungard's secret? What is this secret? I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Carita was going to reveal the secret. That means Mr. Ungard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Carita silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ungard. There's no way around it now. Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. But we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of the secret Mr. Carita held about Mr. Ungard. Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center? Sure, we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Hey, wait. What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is good, ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason. I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care, but the request came from Edgypoo, so... Edgeworth? And he said... If you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm gonna feel free to direct all my anger towards you. Oh, gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. Absolutely top secret, so you better keep it to yourselves. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents. Very interesting. Sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Carita. I'll let you in on another secret, youngin'. I know who planted that spy camera. There's that obnoxious, puffy-haired photographer girl, the nervous some people. Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too. Wow, the alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet it's nothing good. But I didn't say anything. You want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two. Can I be right back?
No.
Oh? I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? Who are you talking about? Don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts, Miss Andrews' mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know. Married? You mean to Mr. Carita? Really, you young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement. 3 days after the marriage announcement? What in the... Why would Miss Impacts want to kill herself? She was going to get married. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was in the weekly magazines. But why? Why did he do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. That night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager Celeste killed herself. How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Nope, I went to the wrong place. Damn it. Doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective's here. Well, he's out there with that camera asking around at all the electronics stores. Then I'll make some salad for him for dinner. Looks like Pearls really appreciates what Gumshoe is doing for us. Mr. Nick? Yeah? Where's the lettuce? I don't think I've ever bought lettuce before. Aw, guess I had to give up on making a salad then. Guess the lack of lettuce is kind of a problem. Visiting hours ended a few hours ago. Looks like we're not gonna get a chance to talk with Mr. On Guard tonight. But isn't what we have to ask very important? Yeah, but I don't think that matters to the guard. Visiting hours ended ago, so what's he watching over now? Maybe he did something bad and he's standing there as punishment. Somehow I don't think that's it. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Maybe I have to go through it this way. Feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened. You're Mr. On Guard's lawyer, right? Ah, yes, sir. Well, we finally found the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness. A decisive witness? You mean for the On Guard case? We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick? Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here. Oh yeah, Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go. What? I've already called them, so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content. Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content? Sounds like the police are pretty sure they had tomorrow's trial in the bag. Okay, now I can talk to somebody. Sure, they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. On Guard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Talk to her first. Oh, it's you. Sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about the secret Mr. Carita had on Mr. On Guard. I'd like to ask you about Matt On Guard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. On Guard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? Why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. About Miss Celeste's impacts. I'd finally put her death behind me, and now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. It's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. Wanted to get her suicide note back and to burn it. You wanted to burn it? But why? You didn't want it to spread just like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I'd never do something so stupid. Suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why'd you try to frame Mr. On Guard? It's simple, because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way. Police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. It's Andrews. I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason. So please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? Cyclock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But, sure, I just heard Miss Andrews say revenge. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me. Uh-oh. Mr. Powers? Oh, what'd he get himself involved in now? What happened? Why are you here? You see, I got roped into this somehow. What? Now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial. It's a decisive witness. Mr. Powers? I was talking with a detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home. When all of a sudden, you there! You're under arrest, and I was brought back here. Oh! Said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something. I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. I'm just a normal guy in an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? So about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about? I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. Can't tell anyone, especially not that lawyer, he said. Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about? I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's me. Yeah, you got it. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright. Ouch. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going. What is he really like? Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say, it's just a game to justify himself. What? How horrible! That's unforgivable! Ow. Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the whole world who won't swoon over me. One person who wouldn't swoon over? His manager, you know? Miss Adrian Andrews. Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic? Ah, you see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right? Dazzling sort of image? But aren't you part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers? No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen. Oh, that's true. Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide? You mean Miss Impacts? We heard something about how her wedding was canceled. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little bit the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead. Power is so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left the suicide note. They say that Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Carita? Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. She said, it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man. Bet you she cheated on him with that. Truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Carita by that? Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? That would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. On Guard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Back to the detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Let's do Matt's.
Late night for them.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so, too. Edward just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Carita was killed by an assassin and that the assassin's client is this man on guard. What's wrong? Mr. On guard, there's something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. Totally not like your usual lawyer dude self. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was going to dress up as a nickel samurai? Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews. Looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is, please? Yeah, that's the secret. She ended up with him. I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. Cyclops.
That's all.
You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? You know about Mr. Carita and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Carita. Her mentor was Mr. Carita's manager. Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impacts' suicide note from him. Celeste. Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat. Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it kind of pea, like green peas? Let's go eat one later, okay? Arrgh, I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Mr. On guard, are you connected to Miss Impacts' suicide in some way? Mr. Nick, your phone. I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous. It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important. Hello? You got a big problem, pal. What's wrong? I'm on my way to your office right now. Okay. Hey, wait a sec. Why is he coming here? It's terrible. I don't know what to say, pal. It's the end. I say, oh, I got here faster than I thought. Hey. No time to relax now, pal. I'm confused as anything here. Well, what happened? We got him. We know who bought that spy camera. Eh? This quickly? And this bear is what gave them away, pal. The bear? I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. But wasn't it Mr. Edward that... Shh, Pearls. And? Go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime. Who is it? Who could be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? Matt on guard. Huh? Matt on guard, your client, that's who, pal. And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Wonderful. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was... I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is a credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. Receipt? That's all you have? No, it's not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me. I'm sure I sold the bear to Mr. On Guard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. On Guard's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. On Guard himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. Great. What about the spy camera we found? That was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you to file away for it into evidence. Spy camera, transmitter, and stuffed bear refiled into the court record. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Mr. Juan Carita's room was Matt on guard. Why would Mr. On guard do something like this? But it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Carita in one of their rendezvous. I bet it's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. Are you going to see him? Mr. On Guard, I mean? Yes. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we will find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Mad on Guard, what in the world have you done? This jackass. Working really late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know what ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Break it down. That's secret. Now let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Kurita had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? Told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. Someone used his camera to secretly film Mr. Kurita's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? Then sent the images the camera took with his transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? My camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Guess wanted a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was... Oh, sorry. Well, Mr. On Guard, I screwed up. Damn it. Hold on a second, I'm gonna... You said that I can't be friends with someone like you. Go home. If you don't go away, I'm gonna call the police on you. Yeah, shut up. Frick. Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Mr. On Guard, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. On Guard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof? Do you want to show me first? Here's proof that you put the camera inside the bear. Yeah. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. On Guard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Damn it. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Dude, all you can tell from this is I spent $3,800. I go to that apartment store all the time, okay? This $3,800, this could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles. Oh, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set this camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you going to do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you had this camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... No. Ah, here we are. What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. Man's name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly the Killer. That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? Really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Mad on Guard, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because you're the one who set up that camera. That means you knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So how? How did you know something like that? Because you're his client, that's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Carita. Real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Mad on Guard. And here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. Thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. on Guard, you really did hire... Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's about time for you to blah 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 blah. Know the truth. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Mad on Guard. Nasty looking. Well done, Mr. Wright. Bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. Really? So you are Shelly DeKiller's client. You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? That woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. All I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? That you're lying. What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. You knew about Miss Andrews' secret? But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. That's right. That video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? Why? Why would you kill Mr. Juan Carita? I don't know why I keep saying that. Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? It's all because of that press conference, isn't it? Mr. Carita had been able to give it that Mr. On Guard's secret would have... Ah, well that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept up on me. And then the situation presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. That's how Mr. Carita ended up dead. I can tell you something, I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet, innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin, too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Piece of shit. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Mad on Guard. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Carita. You answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room. You killed Mr. Carita. Dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Grr. Aw, but too bad, you can't. You're my lawyer, after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? But you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Rick. Mystic Maya. You wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You'd end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel. So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. One said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. What am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. Starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Well, Wright, what are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No! We can't do that. That's right, he's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right, only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, and at that time I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What's this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer, Matt on guard, that man is really... Ugh! Doesn't matter who, every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that all of you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now? That may be true, but it's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard and acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right. Did you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You're a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. Fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record, that's all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then, why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will have to find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of the story. Mr. Nick, the transceiver. Sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My. What is the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please. Why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. On Guard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client. Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. Take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called client relations, and is part of an assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however. You did, but my name is DeKiller. Shelly DeKiller. You're Shelly DeKiller? Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a DeKiller, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya! It'd be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap. Ah, no! Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace the signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth. You hear that? At the end of the end of that transmission. Meow. Huh? Oh, it sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be. That cat, can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelly DeKiller is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for On Guard Mansion immediately. Alright, you hurry over there as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah. Maya! Please answer us! Mystic Maya! We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area. Can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. He and On Guard were working together all this time. Sure, they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. Bear? Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Kurita? Why would something like this be here? Right? Look down. There's a little pet door installed here. Ah, I'm sure that's for Shu. You think that this came through that little door? This door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Arg! There's no one here. The looks of this room, I would say this is On Guard's private lounge. Look at this, right? Antennae for sending and receiving radio signals in a VCR. Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. We're lucky it'll still have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. Sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No, there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. Looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. Searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. Looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. This looks like a picture of Miss Impax. With love, Celeste. Miss Impax? You mean... Yes, Mr. Kurita's former manager. Why would a picture of Miss Impax be here in Mr. On Guard's mansion? Why does it say with love? This might be a clue. Ah! What's wrong, Pearls? Please let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's so special about the frame? On the back, there's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. Mystic Maya, she's left us a message. What? Thought you'd come, I knew you would. Now listen up, you better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for the helpless monk. That's it for now, Nick. See you guys soon. No! Mystic Maya! Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. We searched the house, and this is the last room. Looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm going to get. I'm still short one last thing. What is that? Sanders Cyclock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Now let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock. Evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I've come to remove your Cyclock. Cyclock? I want to know, and you will tell me your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. On Guard for the murder?
Jake.
I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. On Guard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There's something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. Celeste. There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings and even revenge. And that is Miss Impact's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. Top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right, you haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. On Guard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impacts and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Mac? This is a photo of Miss Impacts, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impact's handwriting, isn't it? Where'd you find this? No, that's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. On Guard's mansion. After all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Unlock successful! Celeste, she was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out. Because Mr. Karita didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes, because of Matt. Because of Mr. On Guard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. The happiest woman in the whole world at the time. Working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. That's why, with love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. They were a couple, weren't they? Wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away. That's so horrible. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. Scandal would have destroyed that. Why Celeste and her kindness moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then, it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called her marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. That's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see, so that's what happened. But why did Mr. Karita have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. It's probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Poor Miss Impacts. That was the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds. So that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. Why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt. It would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge, that's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. And at a time where that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. That was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all of this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. Wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I had even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. That's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and for talking with me. No big deal, I couldn't sleep anyway. Can't sleep either, not with Maya's situation, or with what I know now. So here's a question. Do you want to continue with the court case, or for the next one?
No, I kind of want to do a little bit more.
Okay. I gotta pee.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Alright, we'll take a break here for a minute.
Water.
I'm gonna save this. Moment.
We'll be right back.
Yep, be right back. Whew. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ.
I want to go and do a little bit more.
Walking?
No, I mean, a little game.
Gotcha.
Should we?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure.
So go out.
You guys want to go out?
Come on.
Willow, come on. Okay. Oh. And we might be able to get this done. Possibly. Okay. Alright. Let's do this thing.
Huff.
Huff huff. Grr. I get in this mess. It's far enough. Can't run forever. Mr. Phoenix, right?
What?
What? What have I done wrong? Can't allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. I had this dream before, someplace some time ago. Today I'll stand in court to prove a killer innocent. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. Don't look so well, dude. You gotta prove me not guilty today, right? If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Grrr. Listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag of not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. Maya. Phoenix? Phoenix! Mia! Maya. How's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. It's that cursed on guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Ah, Gumshoe. I'm really, really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal. You have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not going to give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then we can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. And to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you too can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. Believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're going to give it all we've got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah. It's like we're coming to the end. To make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial. Man on guard. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. As I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. Mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. As to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. Guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. You're saying that she is guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I'd like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? Looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. An assassin, you say? Yes, Juan Carrito was killed by a professional assassin. A person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt on guard. What a surprising turn of events. I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound. Wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah.
Lousy mentor.
Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went... All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. On Guard's room. Okay, sure. After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. Talking with the bellboy is no big deal. No one assumes... If one assumes that the person Mr. On Guard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, you're just going to have to charge him head first, right? Oh, excuse me. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything else? Anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. First? What do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... you know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? That's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. That's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. Wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask him about. Defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? Ah, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? Very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. Judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Nothing I can really object to here. I mean, who can argue that a fat roll of money isn't really odd? So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Carita. Then the bellboy the witness saw, yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now. Mr. Edward, you don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley DeKiller left at the scene of the crime. Shelley DeKiller? He's a person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. Certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley DeKiller. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head, and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What? Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Right away. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. That's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room. Now I think about it, the bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean... Thank you very much. That's all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let's first establish that the bellboy is truly Mr. DeKiller. Then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. If that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha, 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? The bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange, too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... Nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. There really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There's no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? See, very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. Mr. Powers. Ooh. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I'd like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. Bellboy just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. Ah, but that would mean the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time? Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? Bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-handed? Recall you had said something... You had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Arr, boy does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? That man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe that he was just another bellboy. Erg. Seems that we finally have come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. Rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going to the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. I said, hold it. Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay. Should probably ask him only one question at a time. Gave something to this person? Yeah. What was this something? If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please, try to remember what it was. I'll try. In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely what the bellboy did next. Oh, so after he gave the person... Press again. I said hold it. Ask about the person inside. There we go. So who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? Sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. I'd like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. Then the bellboy left the crime scene. He immediately went to the defendant's room. There he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all he could see was a person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was no. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Matt on Guard's mansion. At the defendant's house? What does this mean? Simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Carita in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. The bear being found at Mr. on Guard's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt on Guard is the killer's client. Order. I said order. Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, that's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it, too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. Where are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found at Mr. On Guard's mansion. However, Mr. On Guard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh, I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. On Guard who took this bear to his mansion. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Phew, disaster averted. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it as clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at On Guard's mansion. You had this area completely surrounded. There was no way for him to escape. Can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. Killer and On Guard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding in On Guard mansion as its butler. What a bold move. Bear figurine was brought back to On Guard mansion by the killer himself. Looked like he was about to be arrested. On Guard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Powers' testimony? What? There's still another one? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. Where are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? There's one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, can't be sure of... Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, at least give us a good reason why. Oh, well, yeah, sorry. Actually, so I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm. But, the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai's arm. I swear it. Adrian was in the costume. Gotta be kidding. Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order. Looks like you've dug your own grave yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt on guard is the Nickel Samurai. It's a defense we've made all the clearer. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt on guard. See no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright? You could not win against the truth, could you? You knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Now announce my... There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client isn't the assassin's client. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at the avant-garde mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I'm saying is it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Real client? Yes. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer? Adrian Andrews? Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt on guard for the crime by wearing a spare Nickel Samurai costume. Ah! Then the Nickel Samurai's arm that I saw, that could very well have been Miss Andrews. What about Mr. On Guard? If you please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? Can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic, besides which there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can see it's not Miss Andrews. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. This is to save Maya, this is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order. All disrupted parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? Prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? Right. The killer did specially bring that bear to on guard right away. Oh, is that where the frickin' suicide note is? Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well, then the court will take a short 10-minute recess. Prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. Section.
Huh?
That's it. Then it goes another. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt on Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls, where's Mia? I don't know. Really strong power suddenly called her away.
Maya.
A really strong power? Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. What about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time. We just had one. Even a single clue would be really helpful. Only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, gotta keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? You can see a circus tent. Mia. Looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. I can see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The Very Big Circus. Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Oh, okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map about 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I can see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? Sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like it was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there, just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You seen it before? That's right. It's only natural the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Alright. Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. This figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess this was a puzzle. What kind of puzzle is this exactly? You can take it apart? Now, how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. Boy, his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. What do you find after you take the puzzle apart? How do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It's a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It's a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It's a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy. It can never be the same again once it's been broken. Really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. As long as Juan never told anyone either, then only two of us knew. Two of you, huh? Of course that means Mr. On Guard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm gonna get for now. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact that we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Huh. Now we've agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You're the only one who can open this. Please. Well, the eyes of Miss Andrews as she opens the box. Click. We've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what it is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's a suicide note. Suicide note? A suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. Seems Celeste Impacts had a very beautiful handwriting. And she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This note's definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order. Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right, at least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. Can't stop you, can I? So much, just get my hands on it. I was going to burn it, for her sake. Deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well. Judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impacts left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then thrown away by On Guard, about being engaged to Carita and On Guard's role in destroying that, and about how she decided in her despair to end it all. That's all Miss Impacts had to say. There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. On Guard. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Is that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Man On Guard values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. The guard's fault she killed herself. Yeah, as far as stuff from revealing that. Oh, terrible! What a selfish person! Guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too. There's no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain the suicide note. The only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. Seems we have come to the truth at last. Defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. Irk, how am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. Gavel's already in the judge's hand, Phoenix, hurry. Suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it? It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that man on guard killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. That seems a little strange. In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. If that is the case, say a man on guard could not have known what this was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. Order, order, order. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Fortunately. I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? Defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Man on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And? Victim Juan Carrito was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Man on guard. Order! Order! Ahem, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. See, you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this gumshoe bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Man on guard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's he thinking? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop. Don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so... nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Just running away like a frightened child work? Now, it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case. But in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think that this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What's this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. It's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. There's something you really should examine. Really should examine about this piece of evidence. That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, the suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. It means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh, so, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impacts or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be... Mr. Wright, Are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. On Guard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Ah! Sanders, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Man on Guard. I did no such thing. Right. If you're going to pronounce the suicide note as a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Oof! That's enough! Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting is yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. Didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and the defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis. On Guard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? What is with him? What's with that side? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. Wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But 2 of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. You hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after... Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. Click. Sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. Can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. Prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. Not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Right. Well, what's going on with the Maya situation? The killer, it looks like he got away again. 30 minutes. We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Court. Ah, is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time, just spit it out. Right, looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. Few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho! I thought you'd ask, pal. I got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. Really sorry, sir, but I've gotta put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission. No one can stop me now, sir. No one. Pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. Oh, no.
Accident.
No one can stop me. What happened? Sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. We have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken. He wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there was a way we could find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is? At this moment? That's right, there is a way. What? How? Sure, we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Oh! He has a tracking device on him. Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like this? Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Francisca, will she even want to help us? Edworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. What I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent, using the evidence to do so. Might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. Doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. Verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. Probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Alright.
This is a mess.
Yes, it is. Oof.
Starting to get annoying.
Getting annoyed?
Yes.
Why?
Because we can't win.
We just had to delay. Okay. We are going to call it there.
Yes.
Oh boy. We are going to call it there.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah, she's got to go to work. But yeah. We'll catch you all next time.
That's a hot mess.
Here, let me get out of this real quick.
I'm sure the rest of it has a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's got a little bit left. Alrighty, but we're going to call it for the moment. You all have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
And we'll see you on Tuesday, I suppose.
Yes.
Alright.
Afternoon.
I'll have a good one.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.